What's good, guys? It's Luke here, back with another weekly watch list. So this week I'm just going to go through the pairs I'm analysing and show you kind of what I'm looking at for the week ahead. Some of the trades could be near to playing out. Some of them could be getting on to the end of next week. So I'm just going to go through quickly. I'll show you a couple of trades I took last week as well. I took two trades last week, both profitable, and I made about 1.5% profit. So I'll go through them as well. But as always, we'll start here on AUD USD on the daily. So on the daily here, we can see we're clearly in a downtrend. We've got some nice lower highs and lower lows, and we've pulled right back up into this area. I got a trade on this not last week, the week before. So if you go back to my second video, you'll see me analysing this pair for a sell. And now we've pulled right back down, and then we've come up recently back to this 50% retracement area, and we've also started getting this bit of an indecision candle. Now I'm looking at this sort of zone as a sell zone to take profits down at the last low. We could also probably take some extended profits as long as this doesn't break through to the upside. If this breaks through to the upside, we won't be looking for sell opportunities. So back down the 4 hour, we've got this nice sort of counter trend line here coming up on the 4 hour, and we're seeing some sort of rejection around this area. So I'm really waiting for a let's just take these EMAs off quickly. I'm waiting for a break of this area and a retest to trigger my short trade, and I'll be taking profits off. So I'll be getting in around here hopefully, and I'll be taking profits off at the bottom around here. So I might be able to get a 1 to 2 risk reward depending how tight I can get my stop loss. But this is the sort of area I'm looking at taking profits at. So let's just keep going through the list. AUD, CAD. There's nothing really on here at the moment. I was looking for a counter trend trade, which still could play out. So we've had this little consolidation area here, where we've not been pushing any lower, and we're trying to break back up, and now we've smashed through this, and we've pulled back, and we've got this sort of engulfing candle here. It's not huge, but we could see a nice trade up to the last highs, just up to here. If we do pull up to these last highs, I'll definitely be looking for shorting opportunities. Let's just see how many pips we've got here. Okay, so we've got about 50 pips, nearly 45, 50 pips. So I could take a trade up to here if we get some nice price action down the lower time frame on the 1 hour. Moving on onto AUD we're hitting this sort of resistance level. So at the moment, I'm just seeing how price reacts. If we push lower, there'll be no trade for me. If we pull back up, we could get an opportunity to come back down again. There's one just on my watch list to next week. I just want to see how price plays out on these trades. Another one here, we've sort of double bottomed here. So I'm just going to see if we can get some sort of price action around here to possibly go back up to retest these highs. So this will be a counter trend trade. I'm not a massive fan of counter trend trading. I prefer to take trend continuation, but it's just one on my watch list. CAD JPY, this is a trade I did take last week. So I took a trade from up here, and I saw this down towards this sort of area, and I got out. Price did start getting a bit choppy, so I got out. So I got in on this double top break and retest, and I got out around here on these previous level of structure. So right now, as you can see, we're coming back up again. I just want to see how price reacts here. We could break through. If we break through and get a retest, I'll be looking for shorts. Euro AUD. I'm looking for shorting opportunities on here for a while. I think the trade is starting to run out a bit of puff. We're really sort of testing this level of weekly resistance up here. We broke through it and closed, but we know this could be a fake out. Euro has been quite strong recently, but I still believe there's some sort of relief to be had in this trade. So I've got this sort of trend line here. If we can break both of these, I'll be looking for short opportunities. Euro CHF. As you can see, all the other pairs of the euro, apart from Euro AUD and Euro GBP. Euro is pretty it's pretty bearish. Actually, I think Euro NZD is pretty bullish. But so it's a really mixed variety here. But you can see we're in a downtrend. We're making lower highs and lower lows. We've stopped around here at this resistance area that I've marked, and I'm waiting for a pullback up back into this area, anywhere between the 618 and the 50% fib. I'll be looking for a trend continuation back down to retest. Just nip out onto the weekly here. You can see that price action hasn't tested this area for quite some time, so it's important to wait to see how this plays out. Moving on to Euro GBP. This is a trade that I've marked up and I'm ready to take. I did jump in this trade the other day, and I ended up just taking a break even. I closed out. There was some news coming up, and it was either I risk it going into profit or I risk it flying up and the news catapult this trade up. So we've almost got a bit of a head and shoulders pattern here. So we've got a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. I'm still bearish on this pair. I know we've been rallying up for quite some time now. It's only a matter of time before this goes down. You can see here on the weekly we've got this massive high test candle where prices try pushing up, but the bears are coming back. So I really want to see some bearish price action on the daily and the 4 hour. Get that trend line broken and retested. This area here, you can see there's quite a lot of support here, and we just dip below and then we come back up again. So I want to see this area broken and get some bearish price action coming in. Euro NZD, as I said, this pair is actually quite bullish as well. We have double topped here on the daily. I've got this trend line in place on the daily as well. I do believe we are due some sort of pullback. As you can see here, this weekly sort of area of resistance. We've got this sort of indecision candle here on the weekly. We have this massive massive bullish candle here. But I'm just going to see how this plays out. Again, like I say, not all of these trades are ready. GBP, there's not very many trades I'm taking on GBP at the moment. GBP USD is another little trend continuation trade that could be playing out nicely. We're in a downtrend here. We're back up to this previous resistance now. So I'm looking to see if price respects this and breaks this trend line. If it does, I'll be looking to take a trade back down to the lows. If it breaks up, I'll be looking for the start of a new trend, and we could be seeing some nice bullish runs from the pound. I took a nice trade on. Actually, no, it wasn't that. I'll show you in a minute the other trade I took. So again, we've smashed through this support level. This was a trade that I didn't get involved in, but I did mark up last week. I couldn't get us the entry right, so I'm going to wait for this pair to come back up, and I'll see if I can maybe get a little bit more of a short trade. Most of my trades are shorts, guys. I think it's a psychological thing for me. I just feel more comfortable shorting the market than buying the market. That's not to say that I don't take buys in the market. So USD/JPY, again, last week, the end of last week, news really smacked the dollar, and we started seeing some massive bearish action here. If we just nip down to the 4 hour, so we've got a fib drawn here. We've had this rejection, this this bearish candle, but I still don't think we're done yet. I think we're going to come up a little bit higher. I'd like to come up into this green zone and then possibly take another short. USD CAD is a trade I took a wonderful trade on this last week, guys. I practically got in around here and I got out down about here to retest these lows here, but it carried on going all the way down. So this was a 160 pip trade. I didn't take all 160 pips, but I did take a majority of it. So I got in around here, and yeah, I just saw it all the way down to here, and again it went even more. I'm looking for a pullback back up into this area, and some price action to show me that we are still bearish. See if I can retest these lows. If I just put up to the weekly quickly, you can see we're actually still quite high up here. So there's definitely room for price to come down here again. Okay, so these targets aren't unrealistic at all. They're actually quite realistic. So yeah, USD CAD, all the USD pairs got absolutely hammered last week on Friday. Again, USD CHF, I marked this trade up last week. You can check out my last video. I was looking to take a trade off this trend line. It broke the trend line here, but there was just no pullback. It just fell. So that would have been an amazing trade if I could get an entry, but I just didn't get an entry. And again, guys, this is classic price action. So we've had a push down, a retest, a push down, a retest, a push down, a retest of this previous support, which is where I marked up to get in, but I just couldn't get an entry. It just fell. The whole thing just fell. So, but that would have been a smashing trade. If you did get in that, then well done. So I'm just going to continue this pattern. Okay, so we've had these pushes and retests. Now we've got a push. I'm waiting for a retest. Okay, when I get the retest, I'll be looking to push down again. Now there might be an opportunity to get involved down the bottom. If we have sort of a double bottom down here, I could get involved just to see the price back up to this area. I'm not a massive fan of counter trends, but I will take them if the price action is telling me that it's going that way. So on the Dixie, this is the US dollar index. Again, if you go back to my last video, I said about taking a short up here, and I also, again, could not get involved with this. It just fell. It completely fell. So I'm waiting for this trend line to break, and I might be able to get some price action and a counter trend up into this area again. So literally, guys, all I'm doing is just getting in on the waves, getting in on the waves. A nice one here is oil. So we're back up. We've come quite high up to actually the 78.6 level. I don't usually trade continuations off here because it's a bit too high. I tend to say that if it comes up to here, it's got the chance of carrying up. But if you also look to the left, price is telling us that actually there was some previous support here. So that support now becomes resistance. So I will be looking for oil trade next week. If we can get some nice price action on the go here, then I will be shorting this trade back down to previous lows. So that's it for this week, guys. If there's any more pairs you want me to look at, please let me know. I'll be happy to make a video on them, and I'll catch you guys next week. Trade safe and make sure you trade your plan and use proper risk management. Good luck in the markets, guys, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.